Mayo, home of a great night's sleep.
We haven't at all, no. Barely a thing.
Where are we?
We're in Wembley Civic Hall. All the glamour of showbiz.
We are here at the National Television
After party.
and we are announcing the Wonderbirds show tomorrow, which we are on. But for some reason, we didn't announce anything, so Steve and I thought we'd actually announce it.
Yeah, we'll announce.
Hello, Wonderbirds. And if the camera goes over there, you will see the gorgeous Debbie and
all the stars.
But the most important people on the inside, and we'll say, hello everyone, hello Harriet, hello Dean, and
Hello, Neil.
Hi.
Hello.
Steve.
You see me?
Welcome.
Hello. Oh, everyone's very bright
your
today,
news,
and I'm a bit
Stephen.
subdued.
Yes. We can't wait to hear your news.
Right,
What's
Steve, what is going on in the world of anything?
In the world of entertainment, well, I think the biggest thing currently is Emerdale's 50th birthday.
What? How can it be 50? I'm only 75.
Exactly. And I mean, Debbie was in it, quite near the beginning, and she's only 28. So
Exactly. None of it makes
That's
sense.
near the beginning. Excuse me.
when were you in it?
I was in Emerdale in 1993.
93.
Oh,
Yes, so that's
Was
30
it still
years.
was that when it was? No, it was Emerdale. It wasn't Emerdale Farm still then.
No,
was
it had been turned into Emerdale by then. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, it's all very exciting. They've got a big old storm that hits the village, a big old gale, and there's a wedding and there's a birth. There's also a cow stampede. You will not get that in EastEnders, let me tell you. Cow stampede,
Well,
where they've got
depends
puppet.
what you sorry, Steve. It depends what you define as a cow.
Yes, true. True. You saw a few cow stampedes in your time, didn't you, Debbie, on EastEnders? So there's loads going on. We've been promised a couple of deaths, all that kind of, all the usual shizzle. So that starts next. Well, it kind of warms up this week, and then the big episode, which is the actual 50th birthday, is on Sunday. That's the beginning of it. Then it runs right through the week. So that's all very exciting, I think.
Very exciting.
Good.
Do you know, it's funny because I was watching a show with an old friend of mine, Leslie Manville,
Oh,
who's
yes.
just done a fabulous film, Mrs. Harris Goes to Paris.
Yeah.
And she was actually in, and I knew her when she was married to Gary Oldman years and years ago, and I haven't seen her recently, but she's the loveliest person, I have to say. But she was in Emerdale right at the beginning, and she looked about 2 years old.
She was on Graham Norton actually on Friday night, and
That's right,
She was
she
in it
was.
for. I didn't realize she was in it for a year.
Yes,
in like
she was,
one of her 1970
yeah.
somethings.
And the picture of her was divine. She looks
Oh my
so
god! I mean, she's a beautiful
I know.
lady. No, but
she's
you're like proper
beautiful.
ingenue gorgeous back then.
Yeah, she's always been lovely.
Ingenue gorgeous. I like that.
Ingenue gorgeous, like you guys.
Thank you,
Oh,
darling.
yes.
Thank you. God, what else is happening in the world of soap?
Well, what I'm quite excited about is at the minute, what seems to be happening is on things like Disney Plus and those streaming channels is they're putting a lot of money into making sequels of films they know people love. So, for instance, at the minute, just came out last week, or the week before, was Hocus Pocus 2. You know Hocus Pocus with
Yes.
Hocus Pocus 2 launched beginning of October, I think. So that's years after the first one. And now I hear they're doing a Sister Act 3.
Oh God!
Now, I am the world's biggest Sister Act fan, so I'm very sort of excited about this. And Whoopi's on board, and it's all happening next year.
Well, Stephen, I hope the Sister Act is better than Hocus Pocus 2, because I've got to say I was really disappointed.
Or were you?
I mean,
I've heard rave
Pocus
reviews
1,
I've heard
heard
rave
good
reviews
things.
from other pals. You didn't
No.
like it? Oh,
it was awful. I mean, I personally thought it was not good at all. But then that's my opinion, and other people love it. Well, that's fine. But I was with I was with my ex-husband who used to be a theatre director, and he and I went, oh my God, it's almost like they've taken every bit of good stuff from those sort of films and put it together. I've got to stand by what I feel, and that is that it was not as good. But
Okay.
maybe kids love it. I don't know. But Sister Act, well, I think that will be a good one.
Yeah.
Because there's, you can't do much damage with that. It's just brilliant.
I love
And
it.
also, Steve, the NTA Awards. It was lovely to see you last night. We must arrange to meet there, actually, Steve.
Of course, last night was the Oscars of television, the National TV Awards.
Yes.
I was there. Debbie was there.
So was I.
I'm not on 100% peak form today, I must admit.
No, of course, we never are we, Steve?
But it was all good fun. And
Was it a late night, guys?
It's
Was it a
always
very
a
late
bit of
night?
a late
Yes,
night.
yes.
Because the thing with these, and you've been to, the thing with these awards things is, the actual awards bit isn't over till 10, 10:30 or whatever. So then you just sort of warm up after that. Before you know
Exactly.
it's 1:30. So it's by the time you
Well,
sort
can
of
I
caught
just
up
say, can I say I was at the Woman of the Year lunch, and let me tell you, doing a lunch, it's from 1, you get there at 12, it's from 1 till 3, and then you're free to go home. So it's a much easier, less
Yes.
late night tragedy than you've obviously experienced.
Did you see, just to change the subject completely, but it's quite apt, Jane Fonda posted a photograph of herself at an award ceremony, and she looked absolutely sensational. And the next day she posted a picture of herself the morning after. She was still in the same dress because she couldn't take her dress off.
I saw
She
it.
couldn't get the zip undone. And so she said, this is the only time in my life that I wept and wanted a man. That's the only time to unzip me.
I know.
That's
I've
hysterical.
actually asked a builder to zip me up before now, and I think he thought his luck had changed actually.
Excuse me, why was the dress undone in the first place, Dee?
Oh well, no, I was putting it on.
late.
actually.
Too late. Yeah.
Go on, Steve. Any other news?
BBC Centenary, 100 years of the BBC, which is later this month.
Wow.
There's lots of stuff going on around that. There's obviously, documentaries and things like that. There's a great one actually about the history of kids TV, and kind of almost like what kids TV has also kind of done for us as a society and what's contributed and all that. It's really interesting actually.
Wow.
Connie Huck's presented that. But there's a general, more broad, early days of the BBC documentaries, imagine. But there's some really fun stuff. There's Strictly That Week, which I think is the 22nd of October, if that's a Saturday. I think 22nd of October. Strictly, everyone is dancing to a theme tune from a famous BBC show.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
brilliant.
Themed around BBC shows or a service the BBC provides, like, radio or news or whatever. So I think that'll be really, really good fun. I think that'll be a really good fun one.
Stephen, do you predict who's going to win? Who do you think will win Strictly this year?
I reckon Will Mellor ticks all the boxes.
My son.
Your son, your little boy.
Yeah, my Hollyoak son. Yes.
Because A, he's brilliant.
Yeah.
B, I don't know a single person in Britain who doesn't fancy Will Mellor. C, he comes across really well, really nice.
He is. Well,
he is lovely.
considering I was his first job and taught him everything, obviously.
Are you
Hollyoak
invoicing him?
What's that?
Are you invoicing him? Because
Yes,
you taught him
I
everything he knows. Just checking.
But
On a
he is a
percentage.
lovely guy. He's also a fantastic actor, but he's a great singer as well. I mean, he's one of those all-rounders.
He's got it all. So, yeah, I think he'll go far, but you never know because a lot of them are really good, and it's kind of funny, because you never know. Because Fleur East, who I thought was great, was in the bottom two.
I know
this week.
But,
so you never know.
bizarrely, not because of her points, though. That was just audience.
Yeah.
It wasn't. It wasn't. She was rated very highly.
Yeah.
And,
So it ebbs and flows. You just never really know. So I always think you kind of need to get to till about 6 of them left. I always think, and then you can start to work out. But I reckon Will Mellor's got a really, really good chance.
absolutely. Wow.
Yeah.
So, what have you heard the feedback on Mrs. Harris Goes to Paris? Because
I
I heard brilliant.
I've heard a few good things about it.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it myself, but I've heard a few good things, and a lot of people saying that they really enjoyed it, and also a lot of people saying it's just really positive and upbeat and fun,
And that's
actually,
nice,
at
isn't
the
it?
minute. That's
Lovely.
a lovely thing to have. The world's a bit all over the
Certainly is.
place. We're just going into winter. You're starting to feel that little chill, aren't you? Debbie's got a cardigan
Yeah,
on.
I want to watch something. I want to watch something now. I want to have a program, a go-to program, like a Netflix or something. And I just can't find anything. Do Do you have any ideas of what I should start watching, Steve?
Everything. Trouble I always find with a lot of the stuff at the minute is that the fashion is very for quite dark, twisted things. There's a lot of dark, twisty, murdery stuff.
Don't want that.
Yeah.
No,
The
no,
yeah.
I just want comedy and happiness. Thank you.
I think that's the problem at the moment. Have you done Hacks on
Yes.
Amazon Prime?
Yeah.
Just done the
Oh
second,
my God.
second
It's
series that came out a
brilliant.
couple of months ago. It's really, really, really good and quite sort of life affirming.
Yes,
That
it is, and
one.
especially as the leading lady is 70 years old.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
Yeah.
It's a proper sort of like lady of a certain age leading the whole thing, and absolutely, stealing the
Brilliant.
show
Yeah.
every single time. And of course, the other big thing, which is part of the BBC centenary, but also is part of something else ongoing, is Doctor Who, because it's
Yeah.
Jodie Whittaker's last one. There's a big hour-and-a-half one on the 23rd of October. Big hour-and-a-half one. Jodie Whittaker's last one. They brought back a couple of people from the series from the 1980s, a couple of the old companions. So that's fun. That's, older ladies doing it. They get me in the trailer. They've got great big guns, great big laser guns, having it with the Daleks. That's really good fun. But of course, the whole thing is it's Jodie's last one. We know that it's all a bit confusing. No one quite knows, it's all a bit confusing. It's great because no one quite knows what's going to happen, because we've got Sooty, who has taken over as the new Doctor. But also we know that David Tennant's also coming back. So we don't quite know what's going to happen at the end of this, because there's some specials to have, and then there's another series, and it's all next year. So it's all a little bit of a proper cliffhanger to who actually Jodie's going to turn into at the end of this. So it's going to be fun. And that's got
so
Daleks
exciting.
and Cybermen and Sacha Darwin, who I love as the Master, who's brilliant, absolutely brilliant in it, captivating. So that's a big old one for Sunday, the 23rd of October for you there.
We shall,
Oh,
you'll be back
fantastic.
before. I hope, no, actually, you'll be back after then, Steve, because it's not very long till the 23rd of October.
I know.
Gosh, it goes so fast. Thank you for joining us. We love you. We miss you.
You're
and
welcome.
I can't wait to give
Nice
you
to
another.
See you
talk.
soon.
All right.
See you,
take care.
darling. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank
Bye.
you. We are here, and what do we think tonight? There were some great winners,
Great winners.
and
Good show.
and Steve looks gorgeous. Look at him with his suit.
3-piece tonight, I thought. Little 3-piece.
And I got me little.
Got they're not little, darling.
I know. We'll get those out. Anyway, we will see you in the show, and say
will.
hello to Harriet and Dee.
Hello, Harriet. Hello, Dee.
Hello, and see you later.
Bye, guys.
Bye.